standpoint, and they're better off. But they're designed that way because they're there to care for children.
Yeah.
They can't be risk bearing like us, because if they were risk adverse like men are, kids would be dead. Let's be honest. It's just that's how they're wired. So when you start breaking these things down, right, and you start saying, well, you know what, take a man. And we've spoken to a couple of people that we've worked with, and I've worked with men, right, as young as 23, with testosterone levels as low as 200.
That's crazy.
Dude, that's like insane to me, right?
Yeah.
And think of yourself as when your testosterone level is so low, think of that fog you have over your mind, right? If you have an elevation of estrogen levels, think of the depression you feel, like the bad things, like all the bad things that come with low testosterone, right? A lot of those feelings is the normal state of a woman.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right, and then when you put it in that perspective, you go, ooh, shit, okay, now I kind of have a little bit, I don't know, but as you said, I have a little bit of, I understand.
Yeah.
And once you can develop that understanding, it does help. From my experience, it does help me to take one step back and go, ooh, okay, I'm the man, right? I've got the better hormone balance. Hands down, right? I'm not contemplating, is it easier to be a man or a woman? You can go into that for days on end.
Yep.
But from a hormonal level, right, estrogen is not a nice hormone. Doesn't make you feel good. Comes with all sorts of fucking things, right? I don't want to bleed for 5 days a month. I don't want to go through that pain.
No.
Right? So I have perspective on it. So out of the two sexes, right, if you're the man, you're the one who has the higher energy levels. You are the one who is able to drive yourself to levels that they can't, because you're bigger, because you're stronger. You are the protector. You are the provider. And why does that not mean that you can also be the more understanding one and the one who takes a step back and listens before you act? Because why can we have all of this power physically, but we cannot mentally or emotionally control ourselves? That is the hardest thing any guy listening to this is gonna crack.
Yeah. And man, I screwed up big time in the empathy department when it came to my wife and menstrual cycles and all that kind of stuff. I'm way better today. I still have room for improvement, but way better today than I've ever been. But going to what you just said, like why I think, at least in my case and some other like people that I know of that are going through some things, we just don't think. Like we don't step back.
No,
we just don't step back.
We're designed to drive through walls. We're designed to push forward.
We don't like, as much as we think we use common sense and stuff. Like I know of a situation. I gotta be cautious because I don't want to reveal anybody. But like, the person dropped the ball on something big for their spouse.
Yeah, and
to the female that I was aware of, there was. I basically said that he needs to be made aware.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know. And the female was like, that's crazy. I'm like, no, that's true. That he just doesn't know. And he's just blind to it until he's told. And even then sometimes, like, because I live this, like sometimes we're told directly, but it's not delivered in a way that we can retain it. And so we just don't see it or catch it. And that was kind of my deal for a long time, where there were certain things that were being told to me that I just didn't. It wasn't being communicated to me in a way that I wanted to be communicated to.
Yeah, and that's
so I didn't receive it.
And that's the lesson on the woman's side as well. Is there's ways you have to learn to communicate with your spouse in an effective way. It's not, again, there's a two-way street here.
Real quick, I'll say this, like something I learned. You talked about anger earlier. Something I've learned to do, and it helps, I believe, is I'll say, if something's a little bit of a sensitive topic and I'm a little worked up, because I'm, again, I was an athlete. I was a catcher on a baseball field. Like, that's the loudest position on the field. So I know how to elevate my voice. I was in the military. I know how to elevate my voice. And so I get passionate, worked up about a subject. I get loud. I sound loud.
I'm the same.
Okay? I know you are. So I have to say, I'm not angry. This isn't anger. I'm just sharing with you. Yeah. And doing that has changed and helped a lot.
Yeah, it's giving a better understanding of your position where you are, because again, you are the stronger sex, right? Yeah. You're physically dominant, you're bigger, you're stronger, and those things can carry over. And if you don't have a good communication base, it can very quickly be misconstrued for something that it's completely not.
Which, let me tie this all back to disruption and how this actually relates to disruption. So if you have a relationship at home that's broken and disrupted, it really will throw everything in your world upside down.
Yeah.
And it'll get you off of your workout plan, your meal plan, whatever else. At the same time, I also feel like what happens, and I feel like this is something that's going on in someone that we've helped that has kind of, gone MIA, if you will, to where my perception is you found this groove based on some significant events that happened in your life and things were going well. And then all of a sudden, something that you thought you wanted comes back into your world.
Yeah.
And it disrupts the good that you had going.
Yeah.
And so that causes what you thought was the good to change you again and put you back on the trajectory that you became the person that you didn't want to be.
Yep.
Right. Now, hopefully I'm making sense with this, but there's also disruptions that you perceive that are good things to take you, and let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
A woman that you want a relationship with that doesn't align with your lifestyle choices.
Yeah.
That can throw you off. And that can be true of the man. Like a man can throw a woman's lifestyle choices off too.
But it's not just people, right? So let's say let's break this into a different round. You've gone on the journey, right? And we've spoken this before as have no problem if people consume alcohol. I think everybody needs to make their own individual choice. But
agreed. Like
Joe Rogan has said is, if you're going to work out 5 days, 6 days a week, why the hell would I put something in my body that's just going to disrupt everything that I'm working for, right? And do I need it to have fun? Do I need it to be in a good mood? No, I don't. So, I don't see the point of it. But hey, everyone live your life according to the best way possible, right? But let's say that you've enacted this journey, right? And you now decided, okay, right, I'm 100% into training, and you're into it, right? You're months in, it's changed your life. You are on a from every aspect you can tell on a positive trajectory. Your relationships are better, you feel better about yourself, like all those things are there, and you have a disruption, right? Then let's not name something, it's just a massive disruption in your life. Let's not lie and say that when you drank alcohol, there was a benefit, right? It tastes good. I had a good social interaction. I had a nostalgic effect from it. When I ate that,
edge off.
I took the edge off, right? And I remember taking the edge off, and now I've got this new thing happening to me in this new journey, and I don't have this. I have to learn what this coping mechanism is in order to do this because I'm still in the journey, so this is an easy thing to fall back on. Mm-hmm. The same way that it's easy to fall back on bad foods, right? Because a tub of ice cream's good. It makes me feel good. It's comfort food, man. Comfort food's amazing. Good food will always make you feel better. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Anybody who wants to come and tell me, Chick-fil-A's got 50 ingredients. It's delicious.
Yes, it is.
Right. I don't think you should put it in your body. I'm still not going to lie about the fact that it tastes good.
It tastes wonderful.
Right. And when you're feeling like shit and you're depressed and things are not going well, those things make you feel good. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say they don't because that's a lie. It's understanding, though, that do I want to put myself in a position, because it's a slippery slope. Mm-hmm. I've been on that slope before. I've been on the slope where, I'm going to do this. And, then it becomes daily, weekly, every week, monthly, and all of a sudden you're 6 months down the line, you go, I need to make a change.
I mean, honestly, like I'll just say, like I'm in the calorie deficit right now, right? I'm on my third week of it, and I put it off for a few months because I was enjoying
process.
I was enjoying like my reality, and I went, well, you kind of, like we've talked about, we don't like being comfortable, and I thought about that. I was like, I haven't done anything hard in a little while. Yeah, let me do something hard. Yeah. And so I did that, and I've disrupted my own. I made my own disruption for the good. Yeah,
and that's an active choice and things you should do because you want to be comfortable being uncomfortable, which is great. Mm-hmm. But the understanding here is knowing that when those disruptions come, whether it's be an injury. Man, if you injure yourself, it's easy to go, well, you know what, I'm not going to follow a meal prep plan now. I'm just going to eat because what's the point of following a meal prep? I can't train the way I used to anyway. Yeah. What's the point? Because these are the excuses I made for myself. Mm-hmm. I'm injured, I've torn my pec. Yeah. I can't train like I used to train. Why am I going to eat the right foods? I'm going to eat whatever I want. Mm-hmm. And I ate whatever I want and regretted it 6 months later. Right. Had to do the work back over again when I could have taken a little bit of a different path. But when these disruptions happen, always in the back of your mind, realize the hard decisions now lead to an easier path later. Yeah. The easy slipping decisions now lead to a harder path later. Right. And again, live your life the way you want. I'm not saying if you've had an injury, go in, do enjoy life, but in the same breath, balance is important. Well, especially when things are disrupted.
the elderly is a perfect learning place, right? If you look at those that have aged, you know, and we don't have to name anybody. You can literally just look at anybody around you that you have seen that's an elderly person. Like, I'm always interested in the age by age comparison, right? Like, we see people in the gym that are. There's a guy that I'm thinking of that I don't know how old he is, but if I'm guessing he's in his 60s and he looks fantastic.
Jacked.
Right?
Jacked. He looks amazing.
Fit as can be. And then I go to the store and I see a guy that can barely walk across the street to the
30s.
store, and he's, you know, I don't know if he's 30s, but he's not very old. And you go, or like they're smoking and drinking lifestyle. Like the place I get a burger a lot of times when it's a refeed meal, I go in there and there's a guy that I've seen in this place for years that's just sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
For a year on end, and it's just like, again, it's the lifestyle choices. So I look at that person in their 70s and go, who chose well?
Yeah.
Who is dealing with the hard today? Who has got the better quality of life today? Like there's the guy that it was a marathon runner that died at 114. Did you see that guy? Like he was from India. There was another guy that just died. He was a World War II veteran, 102 years old.
Yep. I think oldest World War II veteran alive. If I'm not
The TikTok
mistaken,
guy, right? The TikTok star? Yeah, I think so. I think he's passed. So I don't know if that makes him the end, or I don't know if there's any World War II vets, but
I know World War. I think World War One. I think he was World War One as well.
Was he?
Yeah,
So,
some crazy numbers. He fought in almost every war. But
look at it. But look at the age, right? And you look at like. I look at a guy like that and go, wow, what did you do to make it to 102?
Yeah.
Like, what was your lifestyle? What was your choices? You know, was it just genetics? I doubt it. There's probably some health choices and maybe genetics.
I've got a weird take on that, right? Because it's like I've always said, is I don't really care I don't do this for how long I'm going to live, because that is an uncontrollable factor.
For quality of life.
Not that it's not interesting to see someone who has had that and see how they improve the quality of their lives as they age. I mean, there's 100% merit in that. But, you know, like I'm always interested is, let's say someone did die. Let's say they died at 40.
Yeah.
Right. At the age of 40, right? And this is a question I always ask myself, because you never know when the end is near. You never know when it's coming, right? It's just the unknown of life, right? And spiritually, I always ask myself, if I passed away today, what would I regret in regards to what I lived in my life? And would I feel like I did not fulfill what I should have fulfilled? And you know, when I was younger, there may have been, this or that. But as I've grown older, and I'm like, life is amazing, right? And as long as every day is in the present and I'm driving to be the best version of myself, honestly, when that time comes, as long as I'm running this path, ups, downs, derailment, good times, bad times, doesn't really matter. But I'm on the path of being in the present and making the most of life as it comes as it hurtles towards me, as it does towards all of us, right? And I feel that coming, and it's consistent. But there's this unintended peace, and I feel people misunderstand the word peace. They think peace, same as people misunderstand the word retirement. Retirement isn't sitting doing nothing, sitting on a beach, sipping Mai Tais and eating whatever you want. Retirement to me is, okay, now I'm done working. Now I'm retired, but I'm going to go apply myself in all these other things that I like and do that more.
Yes, do more, chase my passion.
Right, I'm going to chase my passions. I'm going to do more. I was chasing them while I was working, but now I'm going to chase them even harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and when I think of peace is something that has to be maintained. Yeah. Peace is something that has to be cherished, protected, looked after. Right. Yeah. Peace in the world doesn't come by everybody not doing anything, just sitting down. Peace in the world comes by those who respect the idea of peace by putting their lives on the line in order to maintain it for the rest of us. Right. Literally. So when I think of peace in my life, right, or the idea of peace comes with hard work. Totally. It comes with sacrifice. It comes with all these multiple things. But if the end result I get is peace, right, that version of peace for myself, that gratitude in waking up every morning, seeing where I am, being in the present, being fulfilled with what I have in my life, that's my peace. Yeah. But in order to have that, I have to work at it. And I cannot stop working. And as we've said before, it's not the work, right? It's the fact of who I become, applying myself on a daily basis. And that is how you should see the derailment. You should look at everything happening for you, not to you. When it happens, and I'm going to tell you, someone who's had it, it's very difficult to put yourself in that position.
You know, I You talked about like it happens for you. Like yesterday, I had a situation that my past self, like I've really come to like this guy that I've become through this journey. So yesterday, something happened where I told you I came out to do that pressure wash thing, and I started to leave the hose at the property, thinking I'm going to need it for future use there. Yeah. And then I went, no, let me bring it with me just in case.
Yeah.
And I've been having some air conditioning issues in the house where I have to do some draining. And I need that hose to do this drain thing for the air conditioning. So I told myself, no, let me do that. Well, guess what? I get home last night. I go upstairs. I take a shower. I don't think to check the AC thing. I showered up, cleaned up all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I come out of the shower and realized, shit, I got an issue with the AC.
Yeah.
I had to climb up in the attic. I got in there. I needed the hose. I took care of all that. Sam says to me, it's just like, I'm sorry you had to do that. I was like, I'm not.
It's all good.
I said, it's fine.
Yeah.
I said, but the funny thing is, I'm thrilled that I brought that hose on with me, because if I didn't, I would have had to run my ass back to the property to get the hose and come right back.
Yeah.
So it actually was a blessing. So again, it goes back to look at the silver lining of that. Instead of me complaining about climbing up in the attic after a shower, I was grateful that I brought the hose with me.
Yeah, there's always, and it's beautiful to see it in the smallest things, right? You try and
Simple
see
stuff.
it everywhere you can be, because it's inevitably is the reason you brought it home was because you were living in the present.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking about getting home. You weren't thinking about what you did. You weren't angry. You were like, I should probably take that with just in case.
Just in case.
Because you were being in the present, which is in this, and we're talking about the most simplest task that you were doing.
Literally.
Those are the times that's the most important. Is trying to, it's not being in the present where I'm sitting with my wife having breakfast and put the phone on, I'm in the present now, right? No. It's consistently working at it on a day-to-day basis and trying to do it in every situation, no matter how big or how small.
Right.
By staying in the moment, I guarantee you, those things you can control, you will control. And those things you can't control, you will let go.
Well, and my final thought on this would be, like, to summarize where we started to where we are at the end of this, is freedom.
Yes.
Right? That's the pursuit of what this is all about. It's to have freedom, not only, like, I think so many people think, freedom is about being financially free. No, freedom is literally living how you want to live.
Yes.
In all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Being free of results. Being free from these outcomes so that you can truly live in the present. You can live and enjoy it. And have like peace and joy in your life.
And just be. Like, honestly, just be. No expectations, no one else. Be in the present, be in the moment, and be the best version.
When you were a kid, you were like that. Right? When you were a kid, you were like that. So just tap into that guy. You got to be a grown adult, but be a free thinker, free person is a very good place to be.
And the end of this is, by doing that, any derailment you have, by being in the present, you will find your workarounds, you'll find a thing, and you'll also find that deep-rooted want to continue your journey despite whatever challenges you found. Yeah. And just keep on the road and keep pumping along.
And you tell me this, like, it's all good, right? It's all good. Like, things happen to you. It's all good. It's all right. It'll all work out.